Hello, I'm Joni. Welcome to my peaceful place, my creative space. Today I have an order and or I guess a haul we call them and some happy mail from my dear friend Hazel. So thank you, Hazel. I have to say I have not looked, but you can see that I obviously had to open it. It was getting wet. It arrived during a storm, and luckily somebody ran out to the because you can't see our driveway. We have a very long driveway. So somebody rode up there in the golf cart and happened to see it sitting by the gate and was like, oh no. So there's only one thing that had a little water damage, but I got it dried out right away, so no harm, and that kind of adds to the charm, I think. It tells a little story about it. So let me go through and show you some of the fun things that Hazel has packaged up for me. These came all the way from Canada. I think mail coming from other countries, it tickles me for some reason. It's something that luckily isn't too rare in my life, but it's just such a fun thing. So even if it is Canada, I find it so fun. Even as a kid, I had family members that were missionaries, and they would send postcards and little notes and stuff from around the world when they were traveling, and so so maybe that's where it stems from. Here are some wallpaper pieces. I'm gonna actually kind of move this box, I think, here and pull these out. Now, I have in the past played with shadow boxes and small little rooms, like like the box rooms, and oh, I love that. That is gonna be so rad. Okay, so I loved these little strips. They're just the right size. I picked up, oh, I wish I had one next to me, a bunch of these little boxes. And currently they're holding extra thread that I have, but as they get empty, like I already got one, I put one of the little doll rooms in there, or miniature rooms in it, and I'm going to do each box. You'll see them. I'll share them with you. So the wallpaper and upholstery and things like that, carpeting, I thought, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. How pretty. Ooh, and I have it going that way too. Oh. I want to use these for those. So true vintage wallpaper for my little tiny miniature rooms. So these are great size, perfect for my kinds of projects. That's going to be fabulous. I don't have anything like that. That's neat. I do, but not like that. I don't have those. So those are cool. Okay, let me keep going with this box before we get in here. She also sent me some tulle. Yay. Now, I have tulle on little bolts, and that's what I made my master board with, and I had to lay out. And this is on a bolt instead of a spool, which means that I can have a solid piece. So that's actually fabulous. I think that's why she sent me that. And Hazel, I love you. Giant buttons. Oh, yay. Okay, let me check it out. Let me see. I picked a bunch of 4-hole neutral buttons. So your crochet pops against them. I love it. Yes. Oh, these are fantastic. Look at these. I'm going to have so much. Oh, my goodness. Hang on. Because let me show you some of the beautiful colors of yarn I have. That would just look amazing. Look at these neutrals. Oh, which one? I like that one too. Oh, that one's very pretty. Let me show you. Oh, look at this green. Oh, man, that would be beautiful. Wouldn't that look like, oh, I could make little leaves coming out. I love it. Okay, I've got that green, and then I've got this bright, bold rainbow. How pretty is that? Look how pretty. And then, I want to show you, here's another one I grabbed. Look at this one. It makes me think of like the carnival or something, and it's got a bit of sparkle in it. And any of these would look amazing. I think this one would look good with this. Look at that. Oh, let me flip it over. That's the tag. So remember, look at that one with that. Ooh, that is a score. Thank you. I just want to peek because I saw a couple buttons that caught my eye. I really like that one. So I will make up some crochet buttons. And don't worry, I do have needles that will go in that small. I won't be able to use this thread, maybe. I'm still playing around. Is that oh, that's an interesting looking button. I thought it was a button inside a button. I like that. Okay, those are fantastic. And so I'll make some up. Ooh, now I'll have some. Now, you know, this is like when you leave something at someone's house or something, then you have to go back to see them again because, oh man, I didn't mean to leave my coat. So you left me with some buttons. Now I'm going to have to make things and send them back. So that's how that'll work. If you ever send me buttons in a Happy Mail, you let me know. I mean, when I get them, I'll crochet some up and send you back some. I'll return the favor. Let's move that there. Let's set those there. Okay. And then here's a teeny tiny J book. I love it. A little Joan book. How cute. Look at that. And that's just, oh my gosh, how cute is that? I might have to give that to Charlie. Well, could Charlie have a J book? Probably. And then there's a little note here. I did read the note. It's very thoughtful. Thank you, Hazel, for sending me this. And you did. You did a great job. Okay, and then there was this bag. I plugged it in your room. I plugged it up in your room already. Yep.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, she says. Okay, I'm going to show you what's in this bag. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I remember this. Oh, ooh. Look at this bracelet. I'm going to take these apart and turn them into charms because the project I'm working on, I can't really, it's very hard to describe. These are little saints and they're like wooden beads. They're beautiful anyway. I love them. There's the Virgin Mary. I got some Catholic things coming too. Ooh, gold tassels. Gold tassels. I used gold tassels with my Beauty and the Bee. I'm going to use those too. That's fantastic. And more tassels. Let me see. Oh, cute. Oh, cute. Look at the little, these look like little tops for the shakers. Those are cute on your Parmesan cheese. Ooh, another tassel. Ooh, I love tassels. If you see my house, you'd know that I loved tassels. I have some. I just have them hanging around. They're pretty. And this, and the pins. Look at that one with the duck.
I'm just going to text her back. He said, how old is my house?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Hi again.
Hi. Goodbye again.
Hi.
Okay. That one has a little duck. That's adorable. So cute. And then this was the pins. Now these little diaper pins are cute. I don't know what I'll do with those, but this one right here I wanted. I did ask her if she would send me some of these pins. I don't even know if I can get it open, but I'll use my pliers. The reason I wanted that, because that style, I'm not a spring chicken, and when I was in, school, I don't know, not at the time. You don't think about it at the time. But, I was a little bit of a punk skater kid. And so we would have safety pins, like safety pinned on our shoes or our jeans or our backpacks or whatever. And we loved finding these kind. And I could pick them up at the thrift back then. So cool. And we would use those and we'd add beads and things to them and hang them off our stuff. And then it became a thing, and then I didn't want to do it anymore because everybody else was doing it. Didn't make any fun. Here's some little leather patches. Ooh, those are be fun to die cut. Oh, I like those. What can I do with these? This is a different kind of leather patch. These look like some kind of samples. Look like upholstery samples. Because the leather that I have are like literally patches that you would use to put on, or pieces of leather. I have a giant 1980s black trench coat from, remember that Wilson's leather? It's got that beautiful vintage kind of design on it, and I need to deconstruct it. That's on my list of things to do. Oh, fun. Oh, I love that. Okay, these, I may have ordered these, but maybe she sent them to me. I want to recreate, because I like I like postcards as a historical document. And they have candle cards. And I was thinking that I could use these to kind of create a candle card where you could see it if you held it up, your postcard if you held it up to the light. So I've got a few of those now I can play with and not feel so bad because I only had a couple in there. I didn't want to mess them up. And then somebody sent me, Angela I think sent me a couple. And I was like, I still don't want to mess them up. This was the only thing that got wet. You can see there. No, you can't really even see. Yeah, you can. It was in the package, in the box. It was just sitting there, and the box started to get wet, and it was just hitting that corner. Now, had it sat there any longer, these other items would have been wet. But we got it. I mean, it was perfect timing. And isn't this so cute? I giggled so much when I put, and I thought it would be this one item too, the not so fast that got wet. That tickled me. So I'm not bothered by it at all. Look, it says my name, Not So Fast. And what's really funny is I just picked up a Not Dying book recently at the library. So now I've got these cards, and each card has a nice little water stain to remind me that Hazel sent me a package. And we got it just in time in the rain, so I love that. This is fantastic, and in my projects, when I got this and I was looking at it, I instantly had the idea that I'm going to incorporate this as one of my Find Me. So in my projects, each book will have specific things in it that you, as you're looking through, you will find them. You can find them. And so I think having one of these Not So Fast cards in each of my journals will be kind of fun. Let me repeat what I said when I opened the box. Oh my, these are fabulous. That's what I said. These are fabulous. I love like comics, and I collect comics, and before I met you guys and the people in the junk journaling community a couple of years ago, I just looked at them, and now I'm going to make crafts out of them. And so I immediately thought, ooh, that's going to really inspire me to pull down some of those comics and get busy on some of the things floating around in my head. And then she sent me some yarn. Always take yarn. So this looks like about the same weight. It's kind of a thin weight. I'll tell you what it says, but that doesn't mean that it's, I just go by how it feels. I'm not real good with whether or not it's this. I know by looking at it. But anyway, kind of a fingering weight. The same as these. And you can kind of see, this is a thinner one. The one I'm using on right now, that's what these are. And I'd say that's about the same right there. That looks about the same. This is a little bookmark I made. Can you see it? It's a little heart on one end and a flower on the other. So that was out of one of Wee's books when I was cleaning up in her room. I'd found it on the shelf there. So these will get turned into really cute little bow clips and things and other little granny squares. This is my super, look, Hazel, I opened this up and smelt it. It still smells like old pencil shavings. She says this one works. When she shared these, I was bidding. I didn't care. I wanted one. And so I happened to win one, and I'm super stoked. I'm going to screw it onto my table and use it. I loved these as a kid. I've been hunting for one of these for years and years, and I don't go out enough or go to yard sales. It's just when I come across them. And so I've never come across one myself, so I knew I had to order one, and I just liked the way it felt in my hand, the way the pencil would kind of vibrate. You could do it. Sensory thing for me as a kid. So I've definitely been wanting one of those for a while. Okay, and now we'll get to the books. Oh, Hazel, thank you. So this is Under the Sea. Now, I'm going to say I think she sent me this for Boo's Little Journals. So look at this cute picture she found of these two little girls. For the Best Friends journal, I freaking love it. And that does look like a little wee. Oh, how cute. And we're doing Under a Sea journal. And so this is fun. And I have not put my pages together yet. I've pulled everything and I got it all in a drawer and we've played in it a little, but I have not sewn the signatures in, so these might be something I could squeeze in there. And I really loved the cover of this book. I just loved it. I wanted it. And I'm going to use it for one of my pieces. I have some Raggedy Ann is in my, I know a lot of us loved Raggedy Ann. I get it. We are the same age. And so for me, my particular Raggedy Ann story, I had a little Raggedy Ann as a wee, and there was a picture of me hanging in our house my whole life of me holding my Raggedy Ann. And then just to throw, what a jerk, but my ex threw it out when we were married. The first year we were married, he threw away my records. He was one of those type of people that really just wanted to remove anything that made me me. And so these were, my Raggedy Ann photo was gone within the first year. Now, Raggedy Ann had never made it that long, although Charlie did, and I still have Charlie now. But then when I was in college, because I had that picture for a minute, I was making silk flowers and selling them, at craft fairs. I was very good at that kind of stuff. I worked for a florist as well. I've heard some other ladies talk about that. So seems like we have a lot of the same jobs and hobbies, right? And interests. And this lady was there and let me get it. I'm going to go get it. It's right here. I stare at it every day. So it's not hard. And I had gone and I brought some of my arrangements to this particular craft fair. This would have been in the early 90s. And this lady in a booth down the way come by and she liked something on my booth. And she says, would you like to trade? This was my first trade, this stall, with another crafter like this. I was very young at the time. I was just doing little craft fairs. And it just opened my eyes to many opportunities. And I even have a Tradeaholic Co. picture I've won from Etsy early days where I traded more than anyone else in the little group. They used to have little groups. But the lady wanted to ask me if I'd do a trade. And when I walked to her booth and I saw the Raggedy Ann, I said yes. So that's what we did. Look at us. It was 1994. It's on her little booty. And I loved it. Well, of course, I don't have the little picture anymore, but I did manage to replace my Raggedy. And so she's been with me all these years. Not all my dolls, not everybody survived my ex, but, some did. And, she's there. She's cute. I think she might have been hanging out with a family member for a while, and that's why she managed to avoid the years that he was on a rampage. So, I lost all the knickknacks from my grandma, my great-grandma. It was very sad. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's talk about this beautiful cover. So, I knew I wanted to have that story. I want to tell my story through my journals. It's Joni's little life story, and every time I'm finding a cover, I have several there that I've been saving because they inspire a story, something that's happened to me, something I remember, and I want to put it in my project, and I want to add little bits and pieces in them. And so this cover, yes, please, let you go there. I love that. And the story, I can't remember if I looked at this story up, because Hazel will tell you I do have to go and look at the books, and I'm very funny. I like to know what the story is too. Okay, and cowboy. I've got some. I also absolutely love cowboys. Grew up out west, went to rodeos as a kid, loved it, loved the Wild West, still love the Wild West. And so I thought this was a cool book cover as well, 1961, and I can use a lot of these images for my projects. And look at all the little notes that are in here. How fabulous. Like they asked questions when they were reading this to their kid. Did baby like sugar? I mean, that is brilliant. So look how cute. So I'm going to totally be using these. And I really like the little notes here. Look at this. Look at that. How freaking beautiful is that? That's excellent. Maybe it was a teacher's. Right? Look at that. Cute, cute, cute. She's dusting and cleaning. I love it. Anyway, that's fabulous. That's going over with Roy Rogers over there. I've got my Cowboys set up. I got a few little cowboy things. I got Roy and what's the other one? Okay. Why did I like this? Nobody was interested, and I definitely was, because this is right up my alley. This is the Imperial Order, Daughters of the Empire. These are their minutes. Look at it's got, I'll have to be real careful. I want to look at everything in here. Stenciling. I could use that in my bee. Beauty and the Bee. Oh, that's going there. Okay. Look at all these pictures. I love these. And so once I can start staring, it's really hard. I really love conspiracy theories. I am not a conspiracy theorist. I love the study of humans. I like to know why humans do what they do. And one of the most fascinating things that people do is, you know, believe in these, maybe not, maybe they're real, but the idea of why we're so obsessed with conspiracies and these stories that live behind them, even in history, betrayal and stuff, I find that very interesting. And that's what my projects are part. And so I really, really loved these pictures because they could be telling that story. You know, these could all be businessmen, or they could be frat brothers, or they could be, you know, in a Freemason lodge. I mean, there's so many conspiracies that I can use. So as I'm working on my books, I can just toss these images in, and each one can have one of these images. She had this whole stack. That's right. That's right. I remember now. They're the 8th Annual Convention, Farmers Union of Alberta. Now, Farmers Union. Farmers. Come on, guys. They're right there at the top of the conspiracy ladder. I love it. I love it. And so, Farmers Union, hallelujah. That sounds like right up my alley. 1955. Those are great, the ones. So I love that there's some that don't have that and that the other side does. I imagine they're these shots together like that. So I can definitely use these for multiple projects and have, these are just neat. I'm sorry. Just where they come from, being part of the project itself really excited me. You know, the farmers' unions. Okay. And then this minutes, yeah. And it's got actual things written in it. It's the minutes from, I don't really like the ledgers as much as I like the minutes. So I have a ledger, and now this makes my second book of minutes. This one's from 1948. And the other one I had, I think I got that one from Sandy, and it had minutes from a debate society. It's fabulous. Just right up my alley. These will be perfect, you know, for my projects because of what's on it. It's going to add that element to the things I'm working on. So hopefully I can start getting that stuff. You know, part of working through my mess and hosting these sales with Hazel and getting these things out of my house is making way for me to be able to start working on what's going to become my life's work. And then this was a 1943, as if I needed another magazine or vintage magazine. I don't, okay? I have hundreds of them. I will be sharing them, but I got them to cut out the parts I want. Again, a lot of business advertising. I like early America, big corporation, conspiracy, things like that. And I'm sure when she was looking through this, something caught my eye that I wanted to use because I have plenty of these. So, that's beautiful. So who knows? I'm going to flip through and see if I find what inspired me to want to bid on this. That's really neat there. I love the colors. Right, probably has some war stuff in it. What year is this? 43. That's probably why I picked it. I do have quite a collection of war books or things. I like that era. Again, it just goes, you know, conspiracy. It's not conspiracy. I don't really know what to call it. So that's what it's being called at the moment. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. So maybe I should just make the product, you know, the projects, and then you can see for yourself what's going through my mind. So I can't really explain it. You know, it's one of those things you kind of have to start, you have to do it, and then people will see the art. It's a work of art to make a statement on the things that interest me and how we are. Look at that. War bonds at the drugstore. How I see the world. That kind of stuff. That's what this project is going to be. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm just going to flip through because we're already here 25 minutes. So we might as well keep going, right? Also want to, oh, I like that. Also, I'm using some of the pieces as I've been cutting up my hundreds of magazines. I'm going to decoupage a wall. Maybe more than one wall in my house. I haven't decided. But I've been pulling out pieces, and so once I get into that room there and I'm able to, that's coming soon. Oh, look, and it even says Canada. Like, that's cool. Is that a Canadian company, or is that, I didn't know Heinz was a Canadian company. That's even better. Look, for wartime meals, it aids in your appetite. That's fantastic. Ketchup. Oh, but look on the back. It's got little, oh, that's going to be hard. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Bummer pants. I think I'll probably keep that. Let's be real. I mean, you can't even see it. Like, I'm not even helping myself here. Very pretty. I love that. I have a thing for trains as well. That goes long standing. These are just... Oh, and I have my train set. I have one of them in my craft room, a little tiny one. Came all the way from Ireland, from my bestie. And look at that little safety pin there. And I've got to redo it as well. So once I get that shelf ready, let's go. I didn't know what it was that I was just like enamored by, but I loved it. It does have things that say Canadian, so I really like that because that'll have a different kind of, I never even thought of that. So maybe that would be cool to consider, trying to get those kind of magazines from other countries, just to have that element in there. All right, I'm done now. Thank you for looking through with me. Thank you for checking out the things that Hazel's gave me. Thank you, Hazel, for these totally awesome and pretty fast. I think they came. I'm assuming I think I shipped mine out a couple days before you shipped yours out. So if you haven't got mine yet, now I'm concerned. So maybe I'll check with you and see. But yes, perfect. Everything. Excellent. Love it. So don't forget our sale coming up this Thursday, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. It's over at Hazel's channel. I'll have that link in my description box there. And I'll talk to you guys then, and you can come see all the other cool things that we have. All right.